this episode of Two Below. News today like tooth decay, slowly rot your brain away.
Take that huge 12-inch dildo. Monkey's just running off with it, flopping in the air and stuff. Like, yeah.
Yes, that monkey's like, oh, he's really going to want this back.
Give me some crackers for this.
Underneath the surfaceless, worthless information lays. Open up your mind. Let yourself unwind. I mean, the only way I would ever see myself agreeing to name my company AnalTech is if we did something specific to the anus.
Butt stuff.
Right. Two below, we must go. Feel the flow, it goes for days. Listen up or vandalize. Don't need your eyes to hear this. Podcast elevated, educated, real shit.
I imagine just this wild, crazy man running around the neighborhood, like snatching cats in the night or whatever, and just shaving the heck out of it.
Like quicksand, you'll sink and you'll blink and it's over. Two below, we will go, so keep your damn composure. Two below, we're on our way, delivering Synosia. Welcome back, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Another episode.
It's a good day.
Yes, absolutely. It's always a good day.
It is.
When we get to talk about fun news stories.
It's exciting because you never know what's gonna hit the plate.
I know. Every day, something new.
That's the thought, at least.
Yeah, you know, life is definitely not boring.
And that's why you're here.
If you know where to look.
If you know where to look.
Yes.
Which is here.
That's right.
My friends. So why don't we get started? Why don't we talk about a little something?
Man, I have perhaps one of the greatest stories that we have talked about so far.
Really?
Yes, to lead us off today. Let me just throw out the headline and then let's see where you take it from there.
Mm-hmm.
Truck plows AnalTech. Odor leads to a hazmat situation.
What could this be?
Truck plows anal.
Okay.
Tech.
Mm-hmm.
And odor leads to hazmat.
This is definitely... Are we still talking about porn? I don't...
If only.
This is actually a thing.
This is an actual company named AnalTech. You know, I don't really even know what to say about that.
How do you come up with a name? I mean, how do you decide AnalTech? Man, let's do it.
I mean, the only way I would ever see myself agreeing to name my company AnalTech is if we did something specific to the anus.
Butt stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, butt tech.
Yeah.
But, you know, butt tech's even better than AnalTech.
Yeah. I mean, that's got a snazzy, spicy feel to it. AnalTech?
Yeah. AnalTech just sounds like you're getting probed.
Yeah. By like the weirdest dildo you've ever seen.
Right. I bet all of those probes that the little green men use in the movies were bought from AnalTech.
I mean, they got to stay in business somehow.
So this guy in this truck, I think there was two pickups involved in the crash. And one of the trucks, this was in Delaware, by the way, Newark, Delaware. One of the trucks veered off and ran into this company, AnalTech, left a huge hole. Well, I mean, come on.
I mean, it's all in the name.
Some might say it was a gaping hole. So yeah, he creates this huge gaping hole in the side of AnalTech, and this massively foul odor
Came
starts
forth.
coming out.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah,
That a car would hit a building called AnalTech,
yeah.
and that a weird smell would come out of the gaping hole that it left.
Personal experience? I mean...
Oh, yeah, it's lining up with all these personal experiences I've had in my life.
Right.
It's all sounding right.
I'll never forget the time I ran a truck into AnalTech and left a gaping hole. It smelled nasty.
They give you like a little tote of AnalTech things they have that they
Yes.
sell like as you leave. So
yeah, so apparently this company makes chromatography plates. They do thin layer chromatography, which is way above my pay grade. We're talking some pretty deep chemistry stuff here. It's apparently like a thin layer of coating that's put on different types of materials and plates that's used in various, you know, chemistry type applications.
I see.
You know, for monitoring reactions and separations of chemicals.
So they'll have the thing they want to test and they'll put it on the plate or whatever.
I guess.
Okay. There's mystery there.
Yes, there
is.
is.
Like you said, it's way above the pay grade.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe that's why they named it AnalTech, because it was a mystery.
Yeah, and they'll go, look, all the plebs out there, they're going to think this is
Yes.
hilarious because it's AnalTech. But the 3 people left in the world who aren't laughing,
Right.
The
article actually does say that there was a lot of discussion early on. Now, this company has been around. They're not new. I don't remember exactly how long. Let me see.
1964.
1964.
1964.
Okay, so this is not a company that just popped up last
No,
week.
I mean, 50 years almost, I guess,
Right.
or a little more maybe.
Which might actually make a little bit more sense.
That AnalTech. But, I mean, surely, even back then, not like that's too far away, but,
Right.
I mean, it's not like you'd name your company like Penis Twang, and you'd just be thinking,
Oh, man. If I ever start up a guitar business and I make custom guitars,
is that what you're going to...
Penis Twang.
Penis Twang all the way.
Hey, man, it's...
Please do.
Nothing quite sounds like a penis twang.
No, it's got its own special, unique,
It does.
majestic
Sound
sound
just
coming
shoots
with
out
it.
of
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But you know what I'm saying there, right? It's like,
yeah,
surely you know the word anal's in there. So
when you look at the actual picture, it's not that huge of a hole. Maybe about half the size of his truck. But yeah, they actually had to call. So there's a lot of chemicals involved in anal tech, apparently.
I see. Which is what brought the hazmat, I guess.
Right. So nasty smell, hazmat suits, anal tech, gaping holes. I love this story.
I do too. And the one thing I really liked about it was their worry. Right at the end of this article, they said, yeah, they're thinking about maybe changing their name just because of all the web filters these days that would filter out anal, which makes sense.
It does.
And this is totally like a work-related sort of thing for chemists.
How many people are looking for chromatography?
Just the 4 of them, or there's not a lot. There can't be. Well, I mean, there's a lot
There's
of
a lot of
scientists and
chemists.
organic
Yeah, there's a lot of
and-
chemists out there.
So, okay.
but
So-
still, I would think that,
on the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
it's got to be such a small number
exactly
that they're really targeting a percent of a percent of a percent at this point.
right.
So,
It's not like Amazon.
no, not at all. Yeah, they wouldn't have Amazon problems. So AnalTech.
AnalTech.
I really like this story. This was a good one.
Yeah, I knew you would. I knew you would like that. I sent a story to you the other day. I don't know if you remember. I haven't cracked up so hard at a news story in forever. So Virginia police hunt catnapper responsible for seizing pets and shaving their bellies.
Well, that's right. Okay, I remember this.
You remember this?
It's all coming back now. I don't know how you could forget this.
Yeah. So apparently, in Waynesboro, Virginia,
Okay.
they're trying to figure out why someone is abducting pet cats and returning them with hairless underbellies.
So here's the first question. Could it be that everybody there they have a problem with growing all their cat's belly's hair out and it's just a really terrible thing and this guy's just trying to fix a problem?
Do you think he's just like OCD? If he sees a cat with a hair that's a little bit too long on the belly, he just can't stand it. And so he
just has to shave it. He's got to just get all up on it.
The compulsion is so difficult to restrain.
I doubt he even keeps his composure. Like, I imagine just this wild, crazy man running around the neighborhood, like snatching cats in the night or whatever, and just shaving the heck out of it, and like just letting them go free. He lets them go free, right?
Yeah. So
okay.
apparently, it's been like 7 cats so far. 7. So do you think he does like Jackass, where he sneaks up on them while they're sleeping with the razor? He's like,
and just runs off.
And they just
gotcha.
you
Well, that depends. What kind of strip are we talking about on their bellies here?
Well, they actually say totally hairless. So I mean, how do you even do that?
Totally hairless.
Totally hairless.
Oh, well, that's
like
easy.
Just the underbelly and the inside of the thighs.
Yeah, I bet he probably just lays them out, just puts some wax up on the.
So you think he's not shaving them? You think he's actually waxing them?
Yeah. I would need to feel the underside of these kittens, these cats' bellies. I think, like, is there stubble or is this just like baby's bottom smooth, man?
Right.
Because that would tell you wax.
So he's gotta be like knocking these cats out somehow, right? Slipping them a little roofie.
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
put it in a little treat, right? And
Right.
You throw it over the fence.
so
or
do you
whatever.
think these cats are gonna like file a class action lawsuit, kind of like Bill Cosby's accusers. They're getting drugged. Do you think they're like waking up in the middle of being shaved? Do they have like groggy memories of like some dude standing over them, like shaving their bellies?
What happened to me? What's going on? It's he wakes up and he's totally hairless and he's totally freaking out. Yeah, I wonder what would go through a cat's mind.
I mean,
they lick themselves, so they've got to be aware.
I don't know. I wonder if they like it when it's done. Like the first time you ever shaved your balls, right?
Uh-huh.
Right.
We've all done it. Come on.
Right. So the first time you shaved it, you either thought, this is weird. Mm-hmm. Or you're like, man, I kind of like this.
Like, yeah, it's like, this is terrible or wow, what have I been missing? This is...
Right. And really, there's no right or wrong answer there.
There really isn't. Yeah, there really isn't.
But for these cats, do you think that they had... is that where their brain went? Did they first like lick a little bit and process and they're like,
do cats are they even aware of this, do you think?
They just don't even care?
Do they even know what's up? They just wait. I mean, if he did drug them, to do this, I don't know how he would get them otherwise.
Right. Otherwise, he'd be really easy to find. He'd be like the only dude in the neighborhood that's got like 5 million scratches on his face.
Yeah, you just see him. I can't imagine him running down the street with a cat trying to, he's resisting the cat.
Like every piece of clothes he owns is just ripped to shreds.
Everything has a few like cat claws coming down it. Yeah, I can't imagine. It's an unfortunate problem, but it's kind of a cool problem to have, though. Yeah,
it says no harm was done to the animals, but they seemed a little skittish after the curious incidents, he said.
Skittish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that leads me to think.
So there's 21,000 people in that city.
Okay, so plenty more cats for this guy to get at. He's got so much more ammo to go.
21,000, yeah. So several neighborhood cats have been abducted.
Is there a way?
Abdomen and groin.
Groin. Oh, so he gets the whole package.
The whole underbelly, every he gets it all.
He's doing the thing that you pay extra for at the cat groomer. He's kind of just taking care of that.
They weren't strays or ferals.
Domesticated, so they're
domesticated. Oh, get this. So 5 of the cats, I don't know if you caught this part of the story. 5 of them were shaved twice.
In the same spot? What I don't know what that means.
So they were shaved once.
Oh, and then
hair grew back.
And then he got them again.
They were abducted again, shaved again.
So this guy's got to be like in the area.
Yeah,
right?
He's got to be somewhere in that vicinity of the 5 cats.
Maybe he's got something against these people. How do we know it's a guy?
How do we know the cats aren't shaving each other?
Nobody's even thought about that. Has anybody even thought about that?
It's like a little cat fight club where they just get together and shave each other's bellies.
These little dollars shave club. Just get up in there. You don't know. I mean, They
never talk about it.
Nobody would.
First rule of cat shave fight clubs: you don't talk about cat shave fight club.
Nobody does. That's why there's 7 cats and that's it. You do feel sorry for him, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of feel sorry for the cats, especially depending on how this guy's getting them. I just wish I would know more. To see, there's so much more here.
I want to take my cat to the groomer and ask them to shave my cat's belly.
Yeah. What's the town place called? What's it had
what was the name of it? It is Waynesboro, I believe.
So ask the cat groomer to give him the Waynesboro Classic or something.
The Waynesboro Classic.
Yeah,
I like that.
They should know what that is.
Right, kind of like, a pompadour.
Yeah.
It's
right, it's got the puffy and the, everybody knows the look.
It's party up top, business all below.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's like wearing business socks. So it's business time.
You think it was one of the cat owners who was shaving his own cat's belly and thought that people would think he was weird, and so his way to get around it was he abducted other cats around his house and shaved their bellies too, so nobody would know that it was him that has this weird fetish where he likes to drug and shave his cat's belly.
Yeah, nobody would ever suspect him then. He starts with his cat. I mean, and then just gets everybody else's.
That's the way I would go about it. If I had this sudden urge to shave my cat's belly.
See, I think he's going about it all the wrong way. If I was going to do this, I would totally... Look, I would bring the nerd factor into this times 1,000. I would create a cat trap that would just have a lot of catnip in there or something that would draw the kittens or the cats in. And then, You know, when they walk in there, it shaves them, right? It hits the underside as they walk through. It gives them the Waynesboro Classic or whatever.
They just wouldn't even know it.
And yeah, just in and out, you know, and I could do 400 cats a day or whatever, and it's great.
How much would you charge for that?
I would do it for free. This is a service for humankind.
That's a public service.
That's what this guy would think, at least, you know.
Dude, that's why you're a first ballot Hall of Famer. Right there.
You think?
Yes.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, no question. Yeah, this was one of the weirdest stories that I'd come across in quite some time. So I love the very last line of the article is some brilliant advice, I believe by one of the sheriffs. It says, quote, "Probably the best solution is for whoever is doing this to just stop." How do you like that?
I bet they had to deliberate and do days of thinking and judging on how to come up with that.
Dude, I mean, if that works, it's like...
Problem solved.
Dude, just stop. The best way to deal with this is to just stop.
We should just shout that from the top of mountains and let everybody know that.
Making a t-shirt.
Just stop. Can't we all just get along?
Yes.
Just stop.
Yeah. Have you seen any of the Annabelle horror movies?
Yes. Well, I've seen one called Annabelle, and then
Okay.
I've seen, I think, like The Conjuring and...
The Conjuring.
The Conjuring.
Yeah.
And,
And there's a Conjuring 2, I think.
Yep, I've seen that one too.
Yes.
And this... Yep.
So,
right there with you.
and before that, I mean, there's been a history of movies about possessed dolls.
Possession
right?
and... Right.
Chucky.
Ooh, Chucky.
The whole Chucky
Nightmares
series.
for me growing up. Chucky.
Did it really?
Yes. All the kids in my family, except for my brother. He was immune, but my sisters and I especially, Chucky was like nightmare fuel 5,000. Like, seriously. My sister would start crying if a Chucky commercial came on.
Really?
Yeah, my parents would have to flip the channel.
So this is a story in South America. A Peruvian family, they are claiming that they have a doll that is possessed, that it has been absolutely terrorizing them for the last 7 years. And this is a really, really weird story. I don't know what your level of belief in supernatural is, but some of the things that she mentions in this article, now, whether or not they're true, right? People embellish and exaggerate. They talk about a handful of different scenarios. Like, they'll put the doll in the corner, they'll go to bed, and they'll wake up and the doll will be on a table in another room.
Right. Which is creepy enough,
Right.
of itself.
They have some young children, and the kids will wake up and they'll have like scratches on them. Now, it could be parental abuse, saying, "Oh, it's the possessed doll.
It's the doll
doing
over
that."
there doing the scratching.
But if you have, like I said, if you have any belief in the supernatural, there could be, something going on here.
Yeah.
So the girl that gave them the doll, I think it was, and I may have this wrong, so don't quote me on this, but I think it was like a niece or something like that, and she died after giving them the doll.
Okay.
I think they mentioned one other family member passing away.
So we've got deaths.
So we have deaths associated. Well, is it truly associated?
associated or
is
not? We don't know,
Is it
but
just coincidence?
we're just looking at-
everybody has people that die in their family,
Right. It's natural, but
But when you kind of talk about it all together, it really paints this picture of we might have an actual Annabelle down in Peru.
would this be like a poltergeist or a ghost or just like a spirit entity? Are we getting too deep into it at that point, or is that?
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I guess it would have to have some kind of entity or spirit if it's because it's an inanimate doll. It's plastic and
Yeah,
glass.
it doesn't
and,
look like
metal.
anything else out of the ordinary.
Right. And so this doll, just to give everybody a visual, it is not Peruvian. It is
No.
not olive complexion at all. It is a very white,
It's a very Caucasian
blonde
looking.
hair, blue-eyed. It almost looks like a young Dolly Parton.
It actually does. That's a good description.
Yes.
It does look like a young Dolly Parton.
Like a baby Dolly Parton without the boobs.
Yeah, I was like sans the
Right.
large breasts.
Right,
And
sans the
absolutely.
large breast before the work. Wearing a little orange like vest thing and a little knit looking shirt. So Yeah, they've had this doll in the family for a number of years, and I thought that this was a really interesting story.
I like stories like this because part of me wants to believe. Part of me just thinks there's got to be something out there. Life can't be this straight and narrow. I don't know. So sometimes I see things like this, and I really do wonder. But then I also, we're in this technological era. Could we not set up some cameras, guys? Could we not put some I don't know, take some video, do something?
Right. What was that movie? The TV or the movie series was it? Paranormal Activity.
That's the series of movies.
Right.
There's like 6 or 7
Where he's
of
got
them.
all they put all the cameras
set 'em
up in the house, and
they should do something like that.
they should.
Because that's exactly what maybe that's how they come up with these movies.
Right.
Setting up cameras.
So
But yeah,
if there are any ghost hunters listening out there, and you are so inclined, look up this story.
Yeah.
And go down to Peru, set up some cameras.
and then get back with us.
Yes.
And let us know what
absolutely.
you find.
Yeah, because I'm very interested to find out if this is an actual possession,
Yeah.
or if this is just, a really horrible parent that's beating their kids and using a supernatural excuse to cover up all of their misdoings.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I hope the supernatural thing's legit.
Yes.
So,
But so crazy ass Peruvian doll.
what do you think about crocodiles?
Oh, I love crocodiles.
What do you think about walking on water?
I think it's impossible.
Wow. Let me prove to you why you're right. So, look, we've all heard of pastors doing crazy things, right?
Yes.
Pastors, like just recently, the pastor who apparently called God on his cell phone, which may have been a great article to talk about at some point. But this guy, a pastor in Zimbabwe, tried to replicate the biblical story of Jesus Christ walking on water. And he said he would do this. So he essentially told his congregation he will walk on water. He gave them a week to think about it. And so he had time to pray and prep. And when the time came, he walked out about 30 meters. And when he started to prep for his levitation act to get up on top of the water, that's where 3 crocodiles decided to intervene and eat him. So that was it. He didn't walk on water.
So do you think he was actually on his way up? Was the levitation in progress?
That's what they said.
So he was halfway out of the water or partly out of the water, and then the crocodiles are like, get back here.
I mean, it says right here, it says he attempted to ascend above the water so he could start walking after making his way 30 meters out. But he was interrupted by the crocodiles.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he might have been on his way to do it. But the crocodiles, so this is called Crocodile River, mind you.
Okay.
And he is out here trying to prove that he can walk on water.
There had to have been better river choices.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like Empty River.
Empty River,
Yeah.
would be a great one. Monkey River's okay.
Monkey River would be great.
Kitten River would be like ideal.
I mean, he could.
I don't know. Kitten River might hurt because, cats in water, they typically
don't mix at all. Like when they see water.
So you'd probably have like this just river of kittens going crazy.
So Death River.
Death River,
what you
basically.
would call that.
Yeah.
So, that's what this guy did. But it makes you wonder all these things these pastors do, these crazy things.
So his congregation watched this happen.
Yes, and they are actually surprised he wasn't able to pull it off in the article. Very surprised.
So I wonder kind of what they're thinking now.
Well, they're definitely thinking about his sandals and the underwear that are left floating on top of the surface. So
that was all that was left.
That's
was his sandals and his underwear.
Yeah, after 3 minutes.
Okay.
It's all it took, these 3 crocodiles, to eat this guy fully.
I bet you they ate the underwear and then they spit it out.
Yeah.
You had a little brown stain in there.
Mm-hmm, because they hit the brown note on the way out.
Exactly. Yeah, that first crocodile chomp, and he just let fly.
He just hit the sweet spot.
Yeah, he filled up the dump truck and
underwear out.
That's right.
This guy's out. He's done now.
What an idiot.
It's sad.
It really is.
But it's also like, what a great story, and sort of like a Darwin type award going on here.
That is probably one of the better Darwin type stories I've ever heard.
Yeah. So there it is. It's just pastor trying to walk on water gets eaten by crocodiles.
Well,
what else is there to say, really?
I think most Christians would just tell you it just means he's not Jesus.
That's true. He wasn't the right one.
Right.
Yeah. So of course it didn't work for this guy.
No big deal.
Of course not. Well, we'll just have to wait for the next guy to try
Right.
over at Crocodile River.
You think somebody should set up like an official, hey, test this out to see if you're Jesus bridge, like
Yeah, it's
over
like
Crocodile River?
Yeah, maybe but you only ever get like 1 inch in the water.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, you could make some good money off that.
Maybe like Piranha Lake or something like
Yeah,
that.
just 2 minutes in the water is all you need
Yep.
to know. Okay, so
Good stuff.
what do we got coming up next?
Let's see. Well, this actually is not a news story, but it is a great story. So
So it means it's a story.
it is a story.
And that's
great. It involves porn.
Oh, it's coming full circle again, my friend.
Yes.
We're back.
We can't go more than like 3 stories without a porn reference.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to Planet Earth.
That's right. 2 Below.
2 Below, baby.
All right. So apparently this guy in Japan was basically a hoarder. There's a couple of pictures of his apartment, and it's absolutely nasty.
Hoarder, like,
Hoarder, like just trash everywhere, piles of stuff.
so like at the house hoarders, like the people who
Right,
just
exactly.
keep everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And this guy obviously had a problem. He wasn't the collector type, right? Where he just had a whole bunch of one thing. So apparently this guy had so much porn in his house, and it was all stacked up, that it fell over on him and he couldn't move, and he ended up dying.
Now, hang on. How much porn does it take to pin a man?
Apparently 6 tons. At least that's how much was in this guy's apartment, which is crazy. But if he was on the second floor, I want to know who the builder of that apartment was, because that's some sturdy ass stuff right there.
That's
Guy had 6 tons.
6 tons.
When they pulled it all out, they said there were 6 tons.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
did they say how fast he died? Was it
12,000
instant?
pounds.
That's a lot.
It didn't say. They found him. So basically, he didn't pay his rent, and I don't know how many months it took of him not paying his rent before his landlord finally was like, "Fuck it,
Got to get this.
I'm gonna go into this nasty ass apartment." How does a landlord let a place get like that to begin with? But anyway, that's besides the point.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah, so the landlord goes and ends up finding him, basically looking for his rent money.
yeah. So he was dead when he found
He
him.
was dead when he found
Under
him.
the porn.
Right.
Do you think when the porn like first fell on him, he knew he was pinned and was like, I might as well go ahead and look at some of this?
You think his hands were probably pinned, right?
Yeah. So he's not going to be able to do a whole lot of stuff.
It's
Just thinking.
yeah, it would be a challenge, but he wouldn't be able to move anything. So whatever landed on his face, that's the only thing he can see.
That's what he's taken to the grave.
Right. And so
Hope it was good.
with my luck, it would be like one of the articles.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
the
like a real
painted
serious article
articles.
about like a paint can or something.
Right.
And you're surrounded by porn
Yeah.
everywhere else.
Like maybe an advertisement for, some accident lawyer on the other page.
Yeah, or some umbrella that you'll never need. This is my life now. See you guys while I'm surrounded by the most epic porn collection. I wonder what something like that's worth. 6 tons of porn. That's like 3 weeks of porn, right? So like
If you subscribe to every single magazine out there, yeah.
3 weeks.
Do they even make magazines
I don't know.
anymore? I mean,
I
it
honestly
seems
haven't
a
even
little-
tried looking in a while.
I mean, with the age of the internet. I
Yeah,
mean,
everything's a freebie these days. So,
but I
don't-
guess Japan, maybe it's a little bit more of a fetish or something.
maybe so. And I don't know why, but I just with manga and things like that existing in Japan, for some reason in my mind, porn magazines seem like a very feasible thing to still exist.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe it's a cultural thing,
No, I could see that.
but I don't. Yeah, and of course, seeing photos of this guy's just massive porn collection really reinforces that fact in my head, because that's a lot of porn.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah, and like you said, the floor didn't break, so I mean, you could talk about the building all day long.
How do you even jerk off to that much porn?
I bet maybe they just enjoy reading it.
You think he's just a collector because he enjoyed the art form?
Maybe it kind of is an art form.
Yeah, he
in a
was
way,
just
it's a for freaky, creepy, weird.
totally asexual to him. He just looked at it like he was looking at an art magazine.
Yeah, he's just sipping some wine like, oh, he is just really hammering her hard. It is really nice. Let
Sipping
me read
his
about the
green tea.
position. Yes, while I sip my green tea. It's beautiful.
Why does it have to be green tea?
Can't it be black tea? Why do we have to even name
why black
colors?
tea?
Why
You racist?
why tea? Are you a tea-cyst?
Yeah, six tons of porn. He did it to himself
Did it to himself, but
more
guess
than once. I'm
he
sure.
went out doing something he loved.
That's true.
So, sayonara, my friend. Rest in peace. So we could move over. We could always talk about some more monkeys if you want, or
Yeah. Sure.
anything
I always
else.
love a good monkey story.
I do too. But this involves, unfortunately, stealing monkeys. Monkeys that have figured out a system, an economic system that benefits them greatly. These are called the Monkey Mafia.
The Monkey Mafia. I like it already.
And they will steal your stuff. And they will apparently give it to certain people at, what is this, a resort? Or, let me see here. A temple.
Okay.
It is a temple on an island of Bali.
Okay.
And they have groups of monkeys. And I guess they have gotten into the habit, certain groups, where they will steal from tourists and drop their things off at what looks to be people who work there. And then they will give them a reward. Some food or a cracker or something. So it's trained these monkeys to steal.
And they have a human middleman.
They do.
Interesting.
They do.
That's very mafia.
It is. It's almost like they are like empowering the monkeys in a way. These middlemen, by giving them rewards for like stealing and then taking the stuff and then here's some crackers, monkey. Go back out there. But now, like, is it just like a lost and found collection that all this stuff goes into? They don't really say.
It's got to be so much easier and a way more fun than scavenging for food.
Oh, I mean, yeah, right? You get to do some stealing.
Right.
And then you get rewarded.
And who knows what you're going to find?
And they say
maybe you get a candy bar.
Oh, yeah. You don't know.
You turn into Uncle Fatty.
How do we know? It's even the same kind of monkey.
Yes.
I'm not going to try to say it again, but we know the kind. Yeah, that's the one. They did notice, though, they said that the younger male groups were much more prone to steal than other groups. So the juvenile males were a little bit more gutsy, a little bit more aggressive.
Relate to that.
Yeah, me too.
I was known to, take the 5-finger discount a few times when I was a young man.
Yeah, I've been there. I can think of a couple packs of gum I took at one point.
Right.
Really puts me in the upper echelon of thieves, but we all got to start somewhere, man.
That's right.
So,
Once a thief.
So this was, there wasn't much to this really. It's just monkeys that have sort of adapted and figured out how they can get rewarded, and that's by stealing.
So I wonder if this is affecting their tourism at all.
Would
Do you think people care?
I would almost want to go.
Right.
And like, yeah, good luck stealing from me, monkey. Come on.
I would plant stuff that I just really don't care about.
Yeah, me too.
And I'd wait for the guy to say, hey, want to trade? I'd be like, fuck you, monkeys. I don't even want that.
Yeah, that's right. Take that huge 12-inch dildo. Monkey's just running off with it, flopping in the air and stuff. Like, yeah.
Yes, that monkey's like, oh, he's really going to want this back.
Give me some crackers for this. Yeah.
Yo, man, I love that idea. It's going to have to be like, you have to paint it, though. Make it
you totally
like fluorescent green and orange. Just so everybody sees it. It's got to be like an 18-inch floppy dildo.
Yeah, you've had it glowing under the sun all day, so it's ready to just glow with all its might, just soaking it in.
You think he'd have to carry it in his mouth?
I hope so. Hope it doesn't go too far in and he has to take it back out a little bit. Like
giving it to the Monkey Mafia.
We'll take care of things. Don't worry.
Man, this is hilarious.
I love stuff like this.
I love monkeys.
It's weird because it's like such a human thing.
Yes.
And monkeys are doing it.
Monkeys are really amazing. I remember when I was a kid, my grandfather, who lived in Jackson, Mississippi, I would go visit with him. I'd stay with him a couple of weeks in the summer. There was a guy in Mississippi that he knew had a little monkey, and it was one of those like organ grinder monkeys.
An organ grinder monkey?
Right. So I don't know what they're called, but they're, real small. Just look up organ grinder monkey.
Okay.
And that's what it looks like. And this monkey would ride. So the guy would ride with his windows down.
Okay.
In his car and the monkey loose. So that monkey, literally, if you saw this guy driving down the street, and I saw it as a kid, the monkey may be sitting on the hood, maybe sitting on the roof. It may be sitting on the back of the car,
Did he
going
have-
in and out of the windows.
They have like a little hat.
It wasn't dressed like an organ grinder monkey,
Okay.
but that's the kind of monkey it was.
Okay.
Yeah. He was just this dude's pet. And the monkey went with him everywhere.
That sounds adorable, actually.
Yeah, my grandfather knew him, so I got to go over to his house and actually meet the monkey and play with it a little bit.
Was it friendly?
Oh yeah, it was totally cool. It was a great experience. I love monkeys.
That would be all. I would love to own a monkey.
Yeah.
I wonder how hard that is. Wonder if it's like owning a baby or, having
It's
a baby.
probably difficult and you catch a lot of shit. I think a lot of people are like, monkeys should be in the wild.
Okay. So never let people know.
Right.
Okay. I thought you meant like monkeys just throw lots of shit and it's just like a thing you deal
That
with.
too.
I was like, I guess
Yeah, I'm sure that comes with the territory.
get good at just dodging monkey shit. I mean,
as long as you just don't treat him like shit.
yeah. Treat him like your buddy.
Right.
Like your best friend. I mean, if I had a monkey, that's what I would do, I think.
Did you see have you seen the video of the monkey that just had the most brilliant shit throwing motion? He reached between, looked like he was scratching. Nobody could tell what he was doing. And in all in one motion, reaches down, pulls it up, and throws it like 30 feet. And it hits this like tourist in the face.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. Look it up.
How long?
Monkey shit throwing.
What a skill.
Too. Yeah.
God, how do you practice that?
Well, yeah. Too bad there's not an actual story on it.
Yeah, we'll get to that some other time, maybe.
Yeah, the Monkey Mafia. That's awesome.
It is. It's good
I
stuff.
hope they branch out and there's different sects of the Monkey Mafia.
Mm-hmm.
Like a couple of them get on a cruise line, make it over to Miami.
Yeah, really
And they
expand the
kinda
mafia.
You're right. Then they start a little Miami Mafia.
Yeah,
Miami
and
Monkey Mafia, and before you know it, it's like the M13 gang. They're going to be all
dangerous.
over the place. Tattoos.
Start taking over the jails.
Right.
I look forward to our monkey overlord running things.
Monkeys are great. I love monkeys.
I love monkeys.
Let's talk about this recent episode of a teacher who is probably, if not already, going to lose their job.
Okay.
Now, justly or unjustly, everybody can make up their own mind on this.
Okay.
I personally think it's hilarious, and everybody's lost their sense of humor and take things way too seriously. But apparently this teacher gave, and this is a middle school, so I think this was 8th grade in Rockdale County, Georgia. The award was most likely to not pay attention.
So this is a school that's giving an award.
Right. Just like their general assemblies where they'll give out like,
Oh yeah, okay.
Best attendance.
Okay.
And, most improved or, whatever.
So
they're generally positive.
Run that by me again though. What was this one for? What was the reward?
Most likely not to pay attention.
Okay. All right. It's a good start.
It is.
It's a really good start. It's
right. So do you think the girl even knew that she got the award?
She still just turned around playing with the notebook, I guess, or
Right.
something.
That's the irony of it.
To
Is she
this
didn't even
day,
realize she won.
She never knew,
Everybody's laughing.
except her.
And she's looks up from her phone.
She's like, "Oh,
what's going on?
What's happened?"
What's everybody laughing at?
You'd almost feel bad, but
Oh
not
man,
really.
it's hilarious. I
It
mean, come
is.
on.
What? First off, who comes up with a reward like that? Most likely to not pay attention.
Apparently, I have a suspicion that the teacher that did this probably had a good relationship with this girl and felt she could kind of
Maybe like the Joker teacher, kind of like
right. I hope that's the case. I hope they didn't just randomly, decide to pick on a kid.
Just destroy that kid's life in one fell swoop.
Teachers should not troll their students. At least not in a way that they can get caught.
Yeah, not in front of everyone else at the
Right,
school. I
right.
mean, and this award is very legit looking. It's like all glass.
Oh, it's nice.
It looks beautiful. Engraved with most likely to not pay attention.
Yes, most likely to not pay attention. So yeah, how mad do you think her mother was when she came home and showed her mom the award?
She would, if she was a good parent, probably furious. Or maybe she wasn't paying attention either. I don't know. Maybe it's like a family thing. Maybe runs.
I mean, It's feedback, right?
Maybe
She needs to do something different with their daughter.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, this is a really brutal way to let somebody know.
Right.
Hey,
And
we're going to let you plus the whole school know that your daughter doesn't pay attention.
or maybe they've told the parents so many different times.
That they just can't get the point across.
Right.
And so this is their way. Regardless, though, this is one like you could, I would pass this down generation to generation.
Right.
Like this is one to write in the books, man. So what happened? What happened with the teacher? Was it just one teacher?
Actually, it was 2 teachers, and neither one of them will be back at that school.
Both got
next year.
canned.
Both got canned.
Gosh.
Yeah. So the best part of this whole story, at least I think it's the best part, when the girl got home, her mother learned that she had been initially voted for a different award.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What do you think that other award might have been?
I can't even begin to fathom if the first one was don't pay attention.
So most likely to ask a question that's already been answered.
They really go hand in hand.
That's a much more passive aggressive way of just
it
saying
is. You are not
most
paying
likely
attention.
not to pay attention.
Yeah. And they really bumped it up a little bit.
Man,
Wow.
I want to hang out with these teachers. They're hilarious.
They're just calling it as it is, right?
So
mean-
was that other one the original name of the award and they decided to change the name of it? Or do you think there was an actual another award and they were like, well, maybe we can't give the same girl both of them.
Ooh, God, that would be brutal if they were
Even
gonna
though
give her
she,
both.
she's like the Michael Jordan of not paying attention.
Yeah, she should be dunking these
Right.
things
She's
left and
like,
right, man.
Winning
Sinking
the MVP and the most gentleman player, or whatever.
She gets everything.
Right.
Every reward. I think, yeah, I would certainly hope it wasn't 2 separate rewards. I think it was one, and then they thought, no, we can't do this. That sounds terrible. We should go with this other phrasing. It sounds way better. And neither of them thought that both of these were so completely off the charts terrible that they should never roll with it.
Yeah, and apparently these guys did call. It says in the article, that they, had called the school or called the mother saying that there was problems with paying attention.
And I guess
So it wasn't like the school didn't let the
Tell
mother
'em.
know, just there was a problem.
just now they really,
But, the mom thought it was a little inappropriate.
yeah, I guess they didn't need the air horn,
Right.
I guess, to shout from the mountaintops and light the fires of Gondor to like,
I wonder, the article doesn't say how the daughter reacted, but how do you think she reacted to it? You think she came home and she was like actually laughing and excited about it?
Dude.
And then her mom, just gets her panties all in a wad.
I think the kid's probably cool.
I would hope, I would think so. That's what I was thinking. This kid probably had a good relationship with the teacher.
Yeah. Like,
And
because
it was, they, between them, it was actually no big deal.
This was
they probably
hilarious.
even talked about it beforehand, but the mother was just, can't take it.
I'm not having any of this. That's my daughter. You're
Right.
whipping around over there.
Because guess what? It means I'm not doing my job.
That's right.
Which she's not,
That's
because her
right.
kid can't pay attention in school. So yeah,
Back at you, lady.
exactly.
So
So everybody
that's-
laughed except for the person who really needed to do something.
Yeah, and she got super pissed.
Yes, it's hilarious.
So backwards.
We need more teachers like this. That
We
just,
do. We need more rewards like this that don't
Right.
pat you on the back,
Right.
but instead tell you like things about your life you need to know about. Come
that's
on,
right?
pay more attention. Stop
Well, they-
sucking ass.
They say everybody should get an award, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
at least-
positive enforcement, reinforcement, and
They just need to stop being rewards that say, "Great job living another day.
That's right.
Good job. This is better." More articles like this. I love.
Yes.
This is good stuff.
Yeah. Great example of our education system actually doing something fun and funny. And then people are so tense these days.
I like thinking
So
that.
tense.
Yeah, they need to just loosen up.
They do.
Let your kids play outside more. Let them go more than 50 feet away from you.
Right.
Let them experience life just a little bit.
Quit reading the front page of the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
Quit reading the front page of CNN. And just come listen to Two Below.
We got you covered.
All
The weird bases.
The news you need to know.
That's why we're here.
That's right. All right. Well, I think that's all we have for this episode.
I think that's it, but we'll certainly have another one coming soon.
All right.
A lot more great content.
Thanks for listening to the Two Below podcast. You can find us on iTunes, on Google Music, or in your favorite podcast app. If you like what you heard, leave us a review, give us some stars, hit that subscribe button.
You can find us on Twitter at Two Below Podcast.
Or on Facebook at facebook.com/TwoBelowPodcast. And that's TWO
BELOW
PODCAST. News today like tooth decay, slowly rot your brain away. Underneath the surface, less worthless information lays. Open up your mind, let yourself unwind. Two below we must go, feel the flow, it goes for days. Listen up or vandalize, don't need your eyes to hear this. Podcast elevated, educated, real shit. Like quicksand you'll sink and you'll blink and it's over. Two below we will go, so keep your damn composure. Two below we're on our way, delivering Synosia.